Hey everybody! So now that the weather is getting colder, I love to come and sit and make a fire and make s'mores. Now I'm sure all of you know what a s'more is, unless you're probably from another country, because I think only in Canada and the United States they make s'mores, which is graham crackers, marshmallows in the fire, and then chocolate and another graham cracker. But tonight what I want to do is show you a twist on s'mores, a different way that you can do it. I'm going to show you how to make one. I've got two here made already, but you're going to need waffle cones, some aluminum foil, and then the good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with mine. I've got my waffle cone and I'm going to add some chocolate chips. And I'm going to add some mini marshmallows. You can add the big ones too, but depending on the size of your cone, that may not work. And then I'm going to add some more chocolate chips. And then you can get creative. I'm going to add some Reese's Pieces, but you could add different chocolate bars, different candy. You could add chocolate sauce. You could add sprinkles. Reese's Pieces are good because they're fall colors. And then I'm going to put a few more marshmallows in there, so it's all gooey at the top. All right. Now I'm going to take my aluminum foil and I'm going to wrap up my cone. Make sure you get it all covered so nothing falls out. Now this part you're going to want an adult to help you with. I'm going to put them on the fire so they get warm and gooey and delicious. You can use some tongs so you don't get too close. Make enough for your family to enjoy. There we go. So we're going to put those there. We're going to get them all yummy. And while we're waiting for those, I'd like to tell you a spooky story. There was a lady that was living in the woods, and she was in a cabin. It was a rainy, stormy night, and the wind was blowing, and the rain was coming down, and she was all by herself in her cabin, and she was rocking back and forth in her rocking chair near the fire. Back and forth, back and forth. And then she heard a knock at the door. So she tiptoed to the door, and she opened it up, and she looked to the left, and she looked to the right, and she looked in front of her, and she saw two huge legs. And she slammed the door, and she went back to her chair, and she rocked back and forth, back and forth. She thought, oh, I hope it goes away, I hope it goes away. But she heard another knock at the door. Would you go to the door? I don't think I would. So she tiptoed to the door, opened it up. She looked to her right, she looked to her left, she looked in front of her, and she saw, do you remember? Two huge legs and a big green body. So she slammed the door and she went back and she rocked back and forth and thought, no, it's just my imagination. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. And the wind was howling. And the rain was coming down. And she heard another knock at the door. She tiptoed to the door. She opened it up. She looked to her left. She looked to her right. She looked in front of her, and she saw two huge legs, a big green body, and two strong arms. And she slammed the door and she went back to her rocking chair. She rocked back and forth, going, oh, whatever it is, I hope it just goes away. Please go away, go away. But it didn't. She heard another knock at the door. She tiptoed to the door. She opened it up. She looked to her right. She looked to her left. She looked in front of her, and she saw Help me out. What was it? 2 huge legs, a big green body, 2 strong arms, and a big ogre face. And the ogre looked at her, and she looked at the ogre, and he said, "Can I have a cookie?" Haha, I tricked you. You thought that was going to be a scary one, didn't you? But it was a silly story. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off the fire, and then I'm going to let them cool, and I have one more spooky story for you before I open them up and see how they turned out. Alright, make sure if you're ever around the fire and you're roasting marshmallows or making s'mores, please do not do that alone. You gotta have an adult with you. Have you ever gone camping in the woods, or maybe to an overnight camp where you've stayed in tents or cabins? Well, I did that when I was little, and I was in a cabin. And I was in there, and I got ready for bed, and I tucked myself in the bed. I went to sleep, and I kept hearing this voice going, "I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you." And I looked up. It was dark. There was nobody there. I thought, oh, that's silly. Must be my imagination. So I went back and laid back in my bed, and I heard it again. "I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you." I thought, what in the world is that? There's nothing there. I got up and I opened the door. Still nothing there. So I thought, oh, I'm just being silly. So I went back to bed, and I started to fall asleep, and I heard the voice again. It said, "I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you." I thought, oh, this is crazy. I've got to figure out what this is. So the cabins that I was in, they were actually hooked up together. So there was another cabin right next door, and there was a crack in the wall. So I went and I looked in the hole, and you wouldn't believe what I saw. I saw a little boy picking his nose, and he was saying, "I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you." Ew. I tricked you again. That wasn't a scary story. It was another silly one. All right, you ready to see how our treat turned out? I'm excited. All right, let's unwrap and reveal and see how it turned out. It does not need to be on there very long at all. We tried a couple of times. I would say maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes, because you don't want the foil to get black, because the cone will get black too. And if you put it on too long, your marshmallows will pretty much disappear. So if you can still see some marshmallows in there, that's good. Ooh yeah, gooiness. Yeah. Oh wait, I lost the Reese's Pieces. I'm coming back for it. Can you see that? Doesn't that look good? Okay, you ready? Whoop. That's good. Alright guys, have fun making your s'mores cones. A little twist on s'mores in the fall with your bonfires. Enjoy. Bye!